Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast, and today we are going to be reviewing One Piece Manga Chapter 1147, The Things We Find Scary. I am Akainu Fanboy. The other guy is Geboss. Please like and subscribe if you have not. Leave your comments below. And so this chapter, the Yamato cover story, continues with the GOAT, Raizo, the only really the only positive chapter cover story that's come through this whole predicament.
You mean the one that literally has nothing going on in it?
But Raizo's in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Yonko tier.
I'm more of a Kawamatsu guy.
And Yonko tier, bro. When he shot back that fire at Kaido, very powerful.
Yeah.
But along with very powerful is Saul. Well, I guess we thought he was, and he's getting messed up by Summers right now. And basically, we kind of get something we suspected, but confirmed that they're immortal, or they have this, at least from what we can tell, the same regeneration ability that the Gorosei have.
Yeah, and it seems like it's not like as much of a secret as we thought it was, because Saul knows about it. Like Brook knows about the God's Knights. It seems like later on in the chapter, don't they also say like they know something about the God's Knights? Like they know that they're associated with the Celestial Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, Brook always has this weird niche knowledge, but it kind of makes sense for Saul to know because he's the Vice Admiral, to have that upper knowledge. And he's just a brainy guy, but the God's Knights are just kind of like... So, I mean, it could still be kind of privileged information. I'm not sure if everybody knows about it, but they definitely know who Saul is and wanted two survivors. And they're like, we want to take, obviously referencing Robin, and then Robin's in there too. And we see that the other Straw Hats get off-screened, more or less, which is kind of insane. I don't think I saw that coming, to be honest.
Jinbei stocks are in the toilet.
Oh yeah, and people are saying he replaced Sanji.
Literally, Nami's calling him out in the chapter.
Yeah, and they still have a fear of provoking Luffy and everything, Poor Jinbei, he down bad. Yeah, his crewmates are hitting him down, and it is interesting where you see Brook say, that woman, no, it couldn't be. And then she hits him and everything. And so he knows who Brook is, but Brook seems to have an indication of who she is, though.
Yeah, these past couple chapters, Brook's been kind of dropping some hints that he knows more than he lets on. But do you think that... Because we know, like, with Saturn, we saw him, like, 200 years in the past. Do you think that Gunko's, like, maybe as old as Brook? And that's how she knows?
I guess there's a few ways. Hold on. That Don Quixote... Sorry, this is a little bit of a tangent, but that Don Quixote Celestial Dragon from Fishman Island, he aged, right?
Yeah, so it's not the Celestial Dragons. I think it's just the ones who have the Abyss seal or whatever.
The God's Knights and all that. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So that kind of makes sense. I know there was like a theory around that Gunko was like the clone Jenny and everything.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we have to see her official colors.
We have to see the colors, and then also if Bonnie interacts with her. Well, actually, that wouldn't entail anything, would it? No, now that I think about it. So
yeah, but I don't see how that would have a connection with Brook at all.
Yeah, no, probably not. So I think there might be something more to her, which means it's not the Jenny clone theory, And it's kind of funny because we thought there are some people who thought she would become an ally, which she recognizes Brooks. That did not happen, So
no, it shows that she's a
I like
Celestial
that a lot.
Dragon.
it's good. Like, keep the essential wicked character. I'm sick of so many people turning onto the good side. Just keep villains be villains.
Yeah.
It is interesting when she says "ugh" after she kicks him.
Yeah. A lot of people have been like trying to interpret that, like either it's like because right before she kicks him, it's Brooke's big thing. I would sooner embrace death than live without honor in regards to betraying Luffy.
Yeah.
Which is Brooke has some good moments like that. But
like a Yonko with Big Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be that like she's just upset that because she's a fan of his that she has to do this, or
yeah,
I don't know. It's up to interpretation.
I guess some people could interpret like, oh, she's gonna switch sides because she does this. But I usually when we have characters switch sides, they don't give indications like this.
Yeah.
It's more of a shock a lot of the time, like the Stussy reveal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still.
Well, she keeps on hitting him right after. So
yeah, that's true. But I'm not fully convinced that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and so we move on to Summers giving his grand speech, and he talks how he's a dagger at the Holy Knights. We get to see more how the Giants are still struggling with these creatures. So the creatures are very powerful, you know.
Well, it shows how much they're like dwarfing the Giants.
And so it's a warrior tribe still, even though it's become pacifized, and they're fighting him off and everything, you know. And you know, so they start to wonder about the kids, and then they basically give their plan, which I find interesting that they feel the need to announce the plan and everything, you know. I don't know. So what do you think, what value do you think they got from that, from like announcing?
I think just the fact that they're announcing it because they want the Giants' cooperation. They don't want them just they want to know that their threats are real, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we have your kids. We are going to take them. And you are going to cooperate with us unless and if you don't, we're going to kill them. I think that's what it is. Like laying it out straight. Like, these are our terms.
Yeah, and then we get to see, you know, the panel of all the kids, and they get to see the monsters up close, but then also some further monsters. We see the Giants' moms spawning on the ship too.
Yeah, that was a funny scene. Yeah, because they're all freaked out by him. Although I will say, this is another thing for Big Mom to come back, because they're scared of mothers. And one of them looks like Big Mom with like the flaming hair.
Strong indications they're coming this way.
Yeah.
Because there's some discussions I've been seeing where people are saying that there's not enough of a singular threat going on right now. Basically, you know, where like we have these gods and knights here, but there's kind of this assumption that as soon as the monster trio comes out, they're just going to wipe the floor. Especially since Loki seems to be on their side as of now. So three things can happen. Loki is actually bad, and he ends up fighting the Straw Hats, which I think would make more balanced sense. Shamrock comes back with more people, or Big Mom shows up and attacks.
Yeah, I know last chapter review that we did, I said I think we're about like between 30 and 40% of the way done with this arc. But I don't know, we could get something coming in, and then we have like a big flashback like we had with Bonnie and Kuma. Yeah. Which lasted like almost 10 chapters. So yeah, that could definitely elongate the actual plot and time for the story. But yeah, I feel like with Egghead, we had all the pieces in place. It's just how they were being moved around in the story. Whereas here, I feel like more pieces are going to be added, you know?
Sure. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think there's a lot of room. I mean, also, I will say, though, they have not Rayleigh. They have Scopper as well on their team. So they need some heavy bad guys here, or the God's Knights are going to get washed away. Because, like, even the God's Knights themselves acknowledge, like, stop provoking Luffy. You know, we can't take this guy, you know? And if the villains of this arc are saying they can't take him on, then that means they're going to need a lot more to give the reader, like, a type of threat. Like, kind of like, you know, like, look what we had to bring in last time. It was like the Gorosei and the Kizaru, basically, to really bring up the stakes on things.
Yeah. But but speaking of Scopper, though, I like his interactions with Ripley. It's just a couple little interactions, but yeah.
Yeah, so like kind of going past all the kid panels and everything, and then you hear about Colin here, and then it is funny to see the reactions, and so, but then the God's Knights are saying, you know, warriors don't have any need of libraries or to point this history either. Set them ablaze and swear your allegiance to us. I find this interesting because it kind of seems like, what does the world government want? Do they want what Loki wants, which is to get rid of this pacifist culture, or did they actually want the pacifist culture by taking over Loki's dad? You know, it kind of seems like a weird shift back and forth.
Yeah, and that's why I'm curious to see what the flashback with Harald's going to entail, because it seems like they don't really. I don't think they really care about the giants. They just want their strength, and to do that, they want to get rid of the any sense of education or with the library and everything, so that they just become focused on being as strong as they can for the God's Knights and their needs.
Which is kind of what Loki wants in a way. Mine is being loyal to the God's Knights, but he wants them to be warriors too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's more of like changing the culture, as opposed to basically the God's Knights wants to enslave them as like their own military force. Yeah. Similarity and a difference at the same time. So, well, with Loki's, I think he just wants them to be, to go back to their roots. You know, that's how I see it.
That's true. So we'll have to see how that flashback turns out, what Loki wants. And I mean, even the God's Knights, their plan seems weird because they're putting a huge target on their backs right now. They know Luffy's on the island and everything too.
Yeah. But
so
I will say that I don't know how you pronounce her name, Angie, the one a female teacher for the Giants. She has a big mouth. Oh, don't burn it down. It just has all the stuff from Ohara in it, and we have to protect it. It's like, what are you doing? Don't tell them that.
Yeah, that's true. Giants are the purpose.
They specifically burned down Ohara because of that.
They need to read more books to get more intelligent on the stuff, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, like, when that does lead though into like to once Robin hears that, she springs into action, which is the final panel with like her and Scopper heading to battle. That's looking pretty cool, and it says like an unlikely duo springs into action.
I like that a lot too. Chopper sucks for staying behind. And I think this is also an additional callback to, well, you know, like AK was kind of a callback to Galley La the Galley Law Company, Water 7, Eni's lobby a bit, right? And Sabaody. But this seems to be another callback to like the Ohara incident, which is kind of a part of Eni's lobby, Water 7 as well too. So
Yeah.
I find that fascinating there. We'll see. I guess you could say like the only connection to Sabaody is we have another Rayleigh-esque character here too.
Yeah. Maybe we can actually see if Robin knows hockey or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, that was another note I did want to bring out, that the God's Knight Regeneration continues to work even though they get attacked by hockey.
I guess.
Because Saul attacked them, right? And nothing resulted from it.
Yeah, but we didn't actually see him use hockey. But I guess we can infer that because we saw Luffy use hockey against the Gorosei, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I'm curious what the key is going to be to disabling it, because if that regeneration gets disabled too, I'd say just on the power tier scale for the God's Knights and the Gorosei would drop. Whatever the hidden secret is defeating them, on that sense. Because
I mean, I put the Gorosei pretty high up on our power tier list because they have the regeneration.
Mm-hmm. And if there's a way to kind of bypass that, if you will, where then there could be a lot of combatants that would outrank them at that point too, because we didn't really see that much in terms of phenomenal combat prowess from them, even the Gorosei or anything. Shamrock might have the highest potential, and that and Garland, in terms of those. But yeah, they do seem to kind of hold on that a little bit, to rely on it a lot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a new form of Logia.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, the Logia without being a Logia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just the regen aspect.
Yeah. I will say one point that I want to make is that it's interesting that I mean, he is the eldest, but Jarl is the one that chooses whether to burn the stuff or sacrifice the kids.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't know, because a lot of people say like Jarl is a traitor or he has something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because we don't see his response, do we?
No. Yeah, because that's when Angie bursts in and says it's from Ohara.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll have to see how it develops.
Yeah. And just one other tiny thing. I don't know if you've seen the potential theory about Usopp's heritage.
No, I have not.
So, really quick, there's one of the kids that's kidnapped, Colleen. She has a very similar nose shape to Usopp's mother.
Uh-huh.
And I was reading more into it, and there's a theory out there that Usopp's mother is a hybrid between a giant and a Tontada, because Tontadas also have that nose shape.
I see.
So I don't know if it's just different nose for different nose sake, or if there's something else, but I think it would be interesting if Usopp also had like some sort of connection besides just being a fanboy.
Okay. I do have one. That's an interesting one, and I do have another mini theory I just thought of. Someone's probably thought of it.
Yeah.
Do you think Johanna is Black Maria's daughter?
Let me see. Maybe because of the horns.
That and not her not having a parent.
Maybe. Black Maria is weird. She just seems like a big human. And we've seen the like other kids have horns too, so
Hmm.
It could be, but I don't think she was ever stated to be directly a giant, but it could be a possibility.
Okay, and then Scotty kind of looks like Dillinger a little bit to me.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
That was kind of another like resemblance I saw there too.
Yeah, but I think Dellinger. Didn't they say that he's part fishman?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's what. Yeah, he's part fighting fish. That's why he has the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want to know
no,
how that works.
No. I just an interesting resemblance there.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he has parents right here too. But I'm not saying they could be related. I'm not saying they have to have same genealogy, but I think Johanna's like the only interesting one. She's the only one that doesn't have parents, and she has like a little bit of a resemblance with Black Maria. So, that's just kind of a thought right there.
Yeah. I think all these kids, I think the only ones that we really need to focus on is Colin. Because he's Scopper's son. But yeah, I'm glad that we're not getting too wrapped up in the kids, because if this were Wano, they would all have their own thing going on.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, I enjoyed the chapter. Excited to see what happens next, and I know there's going to be some big shockers coming down the way. That's just my gut instinct, and I think we discussed those possibilities earlier on. So
yeah. Looking forward to Robin kicking ass.
Oh yeah, and not Chopper.
Yeah.
Oh, and not Jinbei too. He's Chopper tier now.
Buy Jinbei stock low.
Buy low. It's crashing. Tariffs on Jinbei right now. Yeah. Nobody wants to buy him.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So, any thoughts?
No, that's about it.
All right, everyone. So please like and subscribe. If you have not, leave your comments below and your thoughts on the chapter, thoughts, and review, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
See ya.